Childhood sucked. Who did it? If about a spaceship, man, who did it? Lots about this bitch, man, no
Good
shit.
evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. Of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, off and imitate. Never duplicate a superstar Tim Vicious in. We're gonna go raw this week. Was in Boston, Massachusetts. Always love a good Boston crowd. Brutally honest. Said before, hands down, top 3 favorite towns. In the US anyway, for wrestling crowds. Now, before we get into this week's show, just like always, thank the gods, no big horrific, horrifying wrestling news we need to go over. So we're going to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from god damn it, not even out of the intro when I'm fucking my words up. God damn it. Gonna go over last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes had a face-to-face. Roman came out asking the crowd to acknowledge him. Then Cody came out saying, I'm here to meet you. So I'd like to have this be one-on-one, not with your buddies here, if you don't mind. Roman then goes and looks at Jimmy, Solo, Paul Heyman. Leave. You want to talk? Let's talk. And Cody, he goes, basically, I'm going to be paraphrasing all this right here. You know, everyone has made you, Roman Reigns, out to be this unstoppable force. Nobody has been able to get through to you for the past 2 years. Over 900 days as champion. Nobody can stop you. But you see, that's kind of my thing. I've had roadblock after roadblock after roadblock thrown at me, and yet somehow I keep going past them. Everyone said I'd never get past being Randy's protege. I'd never amount to anything beyond Stardust. Me and my buddies would never have 10,000 people come and see our little indie show. And yet, despite all of those roadblocks, I have conquered them. And then Roman just title says, alright, you want to get real? Let's get real. Puts the title down on the mat. Always love seeing when the champ does that, because that's just a huge challenge. For those who may not know what that is, that's basically like saying, drawing a line in the sand and saying, I dare you to cross that line. Because once you do, I'm going to get medieval on your ass. So, laid it down and then said, you ever compete for that? You ever fight for that? You ever main event WrestleMania? Because I have. And I've been groomed for this since I was a kid. Not just by my dads, but by your dad also. And your dad, he looked at me with the straightest faces. Roman baby, you got it. You got it. You can't get rid of it. You can't sell it. You can't throw it in the garbage. You got it, and once you understand it, baby, you are going to go and shoot for the stars. And that was pretty much on how Roman did his Dusty impression. I'm going to just say it right now. Bruce Pritchard does a way better Dusty impression. Ooh, baby, that's right. The American dream of the rose. You know, something tells me she had Bruce Pritchard sit down with Roman Reigns and teach him a little thing or two about on how to talk like Dusty. Give him some of them little Dustyisms, if you will, baby. Just saying. Either way, then Cody, what a surprise. One of Dusty's kids says he's better than Dusty's actual kid. Again, paraphrasing this all. Well, Roman, come WrestleMania, you're going to find out who's better. So, yeah. Rhea Ripley had a match against Liv Morgan. Rhea absolutely destroyed Liv, which brought a very happy tear to my eye. Because as much as I like Liv, and I do, seeing the Liv Morgan fangirls get all sorts of angry when she loses or gets put on the ass end of an ass whooping. Well, that just makes me, seeing them get mad like that just makes me so happy. I can't help it. I'm an evil man. I just am. Yeah. Santos Escobar had a match against Dominik Mysterio. Dom won. After the match, Ray came out, confronted him because Dom was straight up ripped the mask that Ray gave Santos. And then Dom just kept like pushing and shoving him and the whole time I'm watching this, all I'm thinking is, if I would have even thought, like if that thought would have even so much as popped into my head, if I would have thought of being half as disrespectful like that to my dad, I would have been bounced off of every fucking wall in the house, and then I wouldn't have woken up from that ass whooping until about a good 6 months later. Like, don't get me wrong, I get where they're going with this story, and I absolutely fucking love it. I'm just thinking from my personal perspective, like, if I tried that, oh my god, that'd be scary. Yeah. Drew McIntyre came out, addressed why he stood and gave a stare down to Gunther, saying he wants a shot at the Intercontinental title. Sheamus then came out saying, whoa, hold on there, Drew. Now you know as well as anyone else on how much that Intercontinental title means to me. I've been chasing after that for a while. That is the one title I have not held in this company. And then LA Knight came out saying, yeah, dummy, yeah, only one man deserves a shot at that Intercontinental Championship, and his name is LA Knight, and that is not an insult, that is just a fact of life. Yeah, dummy, yeah, dummy. Then New Day came out, Kofi talking about on how he's a former Intercontinental Champion, he deserves to have a shot at it. And then Karrion Kross came out and saying he deserves a shot because, well, he's Karrion Kross, that's why. And then it turned into a big brouhaha, and then they announced that this Friday coming up, they're going to have a match with all those guys to determine who is the next number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Shayna Baszler had a match against Tegan Nox. Shayna got the win. Not much of a surprise there. Bobby Lashley called out Bray Wyatt for his shenanigans with the Muscle Man dance video. And then instead of Bray coming out, it was Uncle Howdy. Bobby Lashley got into a brawl and beat up Uncle Howdy. Honestly, the biggest takeaway for that from me wasn't what was on TV, but what came out on the internet afterwards. Because my timeline got flooded with all sorts of fan theories saying, this person's Uncle Howdy, that one, this one, that one, that one. The funniest one I saw, and I swear I wish I would have saved the dumbass whose name it was, because this dude tried using side-by-side photo comparisons, saying that Uncle Howdy was Jay White. And all I could think is, how fucking stupid are you? Like, if I could reach through the phone, I fucking would to slap the stupid out of you. My hand would go numb from doing so many slaps, but my God, I wish I could. Just, ugh. And then SmackDown ended with Solo Sikoa having a match with Sami Zayn. Sami got the win, and then it ended with Roman sitting in the back. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this Sami Zayn problem. Jimmy, you're going to take care of him on Monday night, and you're going to get things situated with your brother Jay. You got until next week. You got until next Friday to figure it out. Because if you can't get your brother under wraps, I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm not going to get mad at myself. I'm going to get mad at you. And it's okay. And if anyone has ever had siblings and has had a parent say that to them, they know that kind of fear. So yeah, that's just, yeah, I can't put enough on what fucking good the Bloodline story has been. So yeah, so now let's get into this week's show. Raw, it starts out, they show a replay from SmackDown. They show Jimmy and Solo coming in with my savior, Paul Heyman, emphasizing everything I just went over. And then they have Kevin Owens come out, and our first match of the night is Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa. They go and have a big brawl before the start. Solo winds up leading early on, and it's, man, every time Owens, he starts trying to build up some offense, he gets few good shots in. Solo then just wham, grounds him into the ground and makes him eat a handful of dirt. It's just like one of those kind of, just taking him down like that. Match comes to an end. Owens, he starts building up a comeback, hits a cannonball in the corner, goes up, hits a senton off the top. Had to think for a minute if it was a senton or a swan. Sorry. Owens is pretty athletic for his size, so he can do both. But as he's going for the pin, 1, 2, then boom, Jimmy comes in, attacks Owens. They do a post-match beatdown. Sami Zayn saves him. Sami then puts his hand out like, come on, here, let me help you. Let me help you out, please. No one's just looking at him in the corner. Fuck this shit. And then rolls out the ring and then just walks away, licking his wounds. In the back, they see each other in the back. Owens just says, listen, I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. You've been with the Bloodline. You made that perfectly clear in this very building at War Games. Listen, I'm not mad at you anymore. I put all that behind me. But I'm done with you. I'm not doing anything. I'm done with you. That's it. So, oof, yeah. Next up, we got Bianca Belair going against Carmella. Oh, and Carmella has Chelsea Green out with her because Carmella and Chelsea, well, they have so much in common because they both feel like that Adam Pearce just doesn't quite understand them because they're looking to have things go in a particular way for them, and it's just every time they go to complain about their problems to Adam Pearce, it just seems like it doesn't go anywhere, and they feel like they need to go to his manager to make a complaint. And all the while they're doing that, Scrap Daddy, he's coming behind them, and he's like, he sees it, and he's like, nope, and just fucking walks off like, fuck this shit, I ain't putting up with that. So anyways, as far as the match went, good feeling out at the start with Carmella. Carmella's starting to lead into the break when they go into the picture-picture. Bianca, she starts to lead post-break. It was a good match. Came to an end when Carmella, she hit the KOD on... Bianca hit the KOD on Carmella, easy for me to say. And then Chelsea Green comes in, they get ready to start to do a beatdown. Asuka then comes out. Whew, Asuka then comes out. They both look at her like, what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then Asuka hits Chelsea with the mist. Blue mist in a memory. And then Asuka just stares off and at Carmella like, that creepy smile of hers just, yeah. I'm going to save it. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get hurt. Moving forward, Omos versus Dolph Ziggler happened. It was a squash. What do you expect? 2 stories came out of this squash, though. One, the Ali Ziggler feud still going on. With showing video footage of Ali saying that he asked management to make this match for Ziggler. And then after the match, they had MVP get on the mic saying, Brock Lesnar, you talk a talk for a pretty big man, but let's see on how well you are at WrestleMania when you go one-on-one with the 7-foot, 414-pound Nigerian giant. And again, like I said last week, how you think about it in this sense. Brock is a monster. He's a monster that eats other monsters. He's already gone against big guys like The Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, Braun Strowman. So why not have him go against Omos? And not only that, listen, I got nothing but fucking hope for Omos because I see a lot of good potential in him. Especially with the fact that he had fucking Kevin Nash, schooling him all before everything went to shit from the COVID stuff. Next up, we got Finn Balor going against Johnny Gargano. Really good back and forth at the start, technical wise. I mean, I know if you go back and watch it, you can hear it's not as don't hear a whole lot of crowd noise, and to each their own on that. If like, as far as like crowd reaction, crowd noise, because you could have a really good fucking technical match and everyone just looking like whoa. And at the same time, you could also have people cheering and yelling and screaming their damn heads off. But it was good, really good technical-wise, is what I'm getting at. Johnny was leading into the picture-in-picture and was pretty much dictating the pace during the course of this match. During the course of the match, it came to an end when Finn was picking up the pace. He was getting momentum. Excuse me. Had Johnny down, was climbing up to the ropes for the coup de grace. As he was climbing up, Edge's music hits, and Priest and Dominik, who were ringside, go up the entryway to go and try and stop Edge. And as the music's playing, Edge then comes out through the crowd, shoves Finn off of the ropes, and then makes his escape through the crowd, which then gives Johnny enough time to get up. Does that over the rope DDT. In NXT they called it the Gargano Spike. I'm not quite sure what they call it now since he's on the main roster. But he did that. 1, 2, 3, that was it. Next up we got Nikki Cross going against Piper Niven, and before we do, let's just appreciate the fact, a sense of continuity. Both Garganos are getting crazy have developed a friendship with crazy people. Johnny has a thing with Dexter, who's silent, carries various sharp objects, and well, Corey Graves hit the nail on the head. Since he signed on with the company, has had a tendency to kidnap people. Candice has got a stalker-ish kind of friendship going with Nikki Cross, who, well, it's Nikki Cross. I think that pretty much sums up that kind of crazy. So, anyways, as far as the match goes, Nikki starts to swing and brawl with Piper before the match starts, guides her outside of the ring. Nikki then takes her coat off, slams it, starts going all sorts of berserker crazy. Once Piper gets into the ring, that's it, right then and there. Just quick squash. She goes, hits like a boss man slam. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Next up, we got Chad Gable going against Baron Corbin, and this came to be from a backstage segment where Maximum Male models are off looking like, oh, look at that body, that figure, oh, that pose. Corbin then coming over, hey, glad to see that you guys are thinking about me. Listen, I've never really considered myself doing much modeling, but you know, if you guys are interested. Then they go and throw a couple cracks at him like, oh yeah, we're not interested in you. I mean, come on, you're bald. Who ever heard of bald mom? Hey, do not knock the bald. That's all I got to say on that. And then they pointed over, seeing Gable and Otis doing various modeling poses and all that. And then Maxine saying, You see that short one there? You take him out, well, we may have an opening for you. So that's where the story leads into this match. Really good solid action by both guys, kind of like a throwback to the 2019 King of the Ring tournament. Dug it. I thought it was a good match. It was a little short, but yeah. Came to an end when Gable wound up doing an ankle lock onto Corbin and he tapped out. My biggest takeaway on that was he fucking grapevine and scissored the damn leg when he did the ankle lock. It's not that hard of a thing to do, and it's just, honestly, and it's the little things that build up to the bigger picture here. If you're doing an ankle lock and you do that, you're putting all of your weight on that leg. So then that makes it harder for them to scrape and crawl and reach for the rope, and I give. You know, just honestly, I just feel like that would make it, I just feel like if you're doing an ankle lock, you should do that because that'd make it a lot better. So now we come to main event of the night. Jimmy Uso going against Sami Zayn, and yeah. So Jimmy feeling the pressure, like I said, from what he said about what Roman told him he's got to do. Fighting right at the start with Sami leading into the break with picture-in-picture. They're going at it during the picture-in-picture. And then Jimmy, he starts to lead a small little bit in it and then loses the momentum once they go out of it and are back to regular normal TV. Really good back and forth in this match also. And at one point Solo, he actually gets thrown out. Like, and Solo didn't even do nothing. Now, what it was, he was about to. Like, Sami got thrown out and Solo, he's just circling him like a vulture and then just, like, he's calling for the spike. Ref sees him, like, hey, no. You out of here. Like that. And it's like, oh, damn. He didn't even do nothing yet and you're yelling at him. Damn. So, good. Really good back and forth getting going on after that with each other. Really great action. Really good storytelling. Came to an end when Jay came out through the crowd again and then just makes his way out. As he's coming out, Jimmy sees him like, yeah, come on, Oos, come on. Yeah, that's right, dog. Excuse me. Then Sami catches it, then that gives Sami tries to go and throw a shot at him, then Jimmy throws him against the rope, catches him, goes to do a Samoan drop. Sami then rolls around to go and do like a jackknife, or not a jackknife, but then go and do a roll-up pin, 1, 2, 3. I know normally, like I've said before, I'm against roll-ups. However, if they're used in the right way, like in this case, since the match has been going on back and forth and it was a quick counter to an end. Now after the match, Sami got the win. He gets out of the ring and he's just sitting there on standing there at the entryway like, all right, where's this going? And then Jay gets in, staring down Jimmy, and then just Jay grabs his shirt like, let's go, walks off, stands next to Sami. It's like, I'm with you. I'm with you, dog. I'm with you. Goes, hugs Sami, put their hands up. Yeah, we the ones, we the ones, we the ones. And then, wham! Super kick Sami. Double cross. Swerve, bro. And then, you think I'd side with you? You think I would side with you? You ain't family? You had a shot at being family. You ain't family. And then gets back in there, goes, embraces his brother. And then as they're getting ready to go and do a 2-on-1 ass whooping onto Sami, Cody then comes out. Gets behind him. Like, come on. What? Undoes his tie. Takes his suit jacket off. Like, gets Sami behind him. What? Come on. and then the show ends. So all in all, honestly, I gotta say that was a really good show and a really good nice ending. And with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of man, a little bit of true like the women, a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, make sure y'all check out whataminute.net for some vicious rants apparel. Help support the show and help pay the bills for this place. Excuse me. Make sure y'all follow these cool ass cats right down on Twitter. Also, Kenny Killer, DSB_, IB Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.